This is sort of a two-in-one. It's about some comments on YouTube that I knew I was half-assing it when I did it, but I did it, you know, out of laziness, and just basically somewhat of a, probably 10% of it is not wanting to really get on camera and just see all the angles of what I wanted to say. You got a individual such as this username WB2RM. My first and initial comment was on two movies: George Noory on Nightline February 27, 2010 by uploaded by DSP Stuff 2. The other movie was titled Coast to Coast AM, George Noory Screws with Collar, Gets Busted, uploaded by Sam Vincent, VINCNTE. I have the comments in front of me. I have 4 pages each on 2 videos. There's 8 pages. Some of the comments had gotten removed or reposted 5 times, the same comments, almost the same comments. Some of them were a little slightly different on the wording because there was some errors in YouTube. Now, the more I posted, the more people saw it, the more people wanted to chime in their 2 cents. I said, he is not the person you think he is. I contacted him 4 times several years ago. One was a critique of Richard Hoagland. He never responded, emailed. I even told him I'm prior U.S. Navy, asking him why he talks such a good talk and helping veterans, but when he is not in the air, true nature comes out. He's selfish, rude, D-bag with no manners. Moreover, he has played jokes / pranks on 3 people on the air. I remember him pretending to be somebody else, messing with a woman. This was at T-Bird Lauderdale 3 weeks ago on George Noory Nightline February 27, 2010. I made another comment to Rug4874. I tried to contact him to get help getting into the talk radio industry. There was no communication. I could not even get a response from him. He talks about helping veterans, yet doesn't even have the courtesy to reply to a simple halfway form of communication to a veteran on via email. Read below my response to T-Bird Lauderdale on other things he has done. That's on page 4. Page 3 of the comments, and I'm laying out exactly what happened. I'm not lying, I'm not twisting it, I'm not spinning it. This is exactly what happened, whether good or bad. So I get this comment, don't blame the world, it's not out to get you. Actually, WB2RM says, you cannot expect very famous people or busy people to always respond to you. If they were to respond to all the mail they get, they would have no time to do anything else. It's that simple. Don't blame the world. It's not out to get you. Take responsibility for everything in your own life and start from there. Being a victim never helped anyone. Now, first thing he's doing is pep talking to somebody he does not know at all, just on what he's seen on the comments. It looks like he's the one that needs the pep talking on ignorance and learning how to. There's a certain way you can say something to somebody without sounding arrogant or condescending in a smug. Now, basically, I can see from here, basic 101, that that's the way he's being. Now, he's 24 on his according to his YouTube channel. Now, I'm what it says on my YouTube channel. I'm 40, but I'm actually close to 37. Now, life experience, whether you like it or not, sometimes is based on age. I have a lot of life experience. Now, he's meddling. He's meddling in what he's, and he doesn't see that he's done anything wrong. So people like that are wrapped up in their own world. It's like people that preach about the Bible. All they can do is wrap up in their world. It was on Coast to Coast the other night. Actually, Michael Savage. It was on Michael Savage that some caller was preaching about Matthew. And this is an analogy to this person. Now, I really laid in on thick because I had a lot to say, and I didn't wait for him to respond to every little comment. What I should have done was got on here. It's just like, my response here is don't blame the world, it's not out to get you. I quoted him, Illuminati, murders, rapists, wars. Yeah, there are a lot of, and I spoke the truth. Those things happen. Okay, the tape ended, so this is a new tape. As I was saying, I quote him, don't blame the world, it's not out to get you. Illuminati, murders, rapists, wars, the world's not out to get you, huh? Secret societies, it's even discussed on Coast to Coast, and yeah, it is. Where have you been, you smug, condescending, pep-talking, offensive idiot? Shut your ignorant, belittling mouth unless you can be respectful. Sad you do not even know how offensive and disrespectful in your words. I can practically hear the arrogance coming out of that short-sighted, idiotic mouth. Now, really, have I lied about anything he's done? He's been condescending. In my eyes, he's an idiot for not seeing the wisdom in what he's done wrong, the error of his ways. WB2RM. See, meddlesome people act like they think they know everything, what's best for you, and what they need to do, what you need to do to live like them. They don't understand, they don't know anything about your situation, yet they think they know it all. Now that's stupid to me, because you gotta know the facts about a person before you come to any kind of conclusion. At least something about the individual. Now, you know, a lot of people, you give an opportunity to say something, they will. Like 5,000 emails, and they don't have time to read email. That's always been said. That's always been the excuse. But, you know, in all actuality, I practice what I preach. If I wanted to give somebody an opportunity to be fair to everybody, you can allocate 1 or 2 hours a day and respond to email. If you say you're going to do it personally, do it. If you want to have somebody else read the email and respond, first, I would never do email, because that's why there's so many email, because it's so easy to hit the button and send the email. You should not have to do that. There'll be less communication if you pick up the phone, because it's more work. People will pick up the phone, but it's better. Quality, not quantity. That's the point I was trying to make to this ignorant person, you know. And so I said you, which makes automatic confrontational, and I said to him, and I put another comment. This was my next comment was, this is a response from Coast to Coast AM. George Noory screws her caller, gets busted. I put the link, and I said the same thing about the comments of the radio industry. I could never get him that far to even talk to George Noory about it. It was originally about Richard Hoagland and what a smug, narcissistic person he is. It sounds familiar. Same with this guy. It's a dime a dozen. People are very smug and narcissistic and self-loving, and they understand no matter if they're right or wrong, if you come across that way, people don't want to hear it. People are going to get offended, especially if you have the nerve to belittle people and make them feel small, like they're belittled. You don't do that approach and expect to get any respect. An eye for an eye. So this guy, Starmanskye, S-Y-S-K-Y-E, my advice is to make a use of college, university-based radio stations. Volunteer as a DJ programmer and or community liaison. Go for to get your feet wet. Heads up and plug and play in the dynamic radio broadcast culture. There are 1,001 ways to make yourself look useful, informed, and aware of opportunities. It's been a long and hard slope to set ESP in this era of corporate monopolism. So he's not sound aristocratic here, intelligent, like he knows his shit doesn't stink. You know, that's what I take it. Also, make use of public access cable stations to assist how to produce your own programs, culture, and identity. Of course this has been said. Of course I go to radio. That's obvious. Of course go to school. That's obvious. Do you understand certain people have disabilities that can't be in the classroom? Have you thought about that, genius? No. So these people don't think, and they're giving cliche, redundant information that's been said thousands of times. Of course, well, if it's been said thousands of times, it's obviously true, right? Well, not necessarily. 10,000 people can say something stupid, and that's the majority. You can get 10,000 comments that are wrong, and they're going to be wrong. You can get 10,051 comments that are right, and they're going to be right. Doesn't mean you're right, because majority says so. I've looked at the angle. I've heard all this before. The last thing anybody wants is a pep talking idiot. Yeah, idiot. If you're gonna pep talk somebody, actually say something intelligent instead of cliche like that's been said thousands of times before. And you should say it. You could say it in a way. Well, I mean no offense. I mean no pep talk. Maybe you've heard all this before, but they don't. And then go on to say what they were gonna say. But they don't say that. They don't say it respectfully. You know, I'd say 50-60% of the time, if you want somebody to listen, say it respectfully. You don't say it with a small condescending tone like you know it all. You don't. Your shit doesn't stink. Your shit stinks like everybody else. Get it? It's not about, oh, well, you need mental help. So this guy goes on to say, there's a comment from Raphael's One about 3 weeks ago. He said, the truth, George Noory is not the complete picture he portrays on radio. Although it's amazing he can't really hide what he truly is, after listening to him for years and meeting him in person, I find him to be a very controlled, egocentric man in a position to mislead and hurt people. The Ouija board experiment that he wanted to do on the radio was just another of many examples of harm he is capable of. Also bear in mind, he does it Fridays, sending her thoughts to him for control. Well, this validates that other people feel the same way about Noory. That he is not the image that he always appears to be. Oh, he's a human being, but I think he's got an underlying agenda. But the video is not really about that. The real video is about, the movie is about meddlesome people, like this WB2RM. You know, he acts like his shit doesn't stink. And that's just not, that just shows his ignorance. Because everybody's got mistakes. And he can't give credit where credit's due. I said a lot of comments on here that were right on, that made a lot of sense, that to any intellectual, cerebral, open-minded, broad-minded person would understand, except he did not acknowledge it. He even ignored it and said what he wanted to say. Now, this is the next one I said. First off, I will never do email communication, telephone. It's effective, slow, and personal, like it is here right now. With this typing, second, like with this typing, I can't even get my point across. It takes me all day long, 10 hours, 11 hours, just to get all this typed out when I could say it in about 15 minutes. Second, look at all the other comments with negative stuff about Noory. Also, with posts from Raphael, you want to say something to them. Yeah, if you're gonna preach to somebody, preach to everybody that has negative comments about Noory, not just me. It's called fairness. Something he doesn't do. He pointed the finger, dipped his meddlesome finger in my business that he knew not what he was talking about, really. At least act like, if you're gonna act like you know what you're talking about, actually know what you're talking about. Make sense? He says, I'm trying to get this information out fast because there's not a lot of time. There's a 15-minute limit. I don't want my videos going too slow. If I seem like I'm excited, because I want to get this information out fast. It's not because I'm delusional or messed up in the head or whatever. Okay? A lot of talk show hosts have that. Look it around you. They talk fast because there's a time limit. And they get all excited because they're passionate about what they talk about. It's not crazy. It's not delusional. And he said that he goes... Let me finish my comment. What I typed on here is simple. Words complicated, not all things mainstream. It's complicated, esoteric. That's right. Everybody's situation is unique. It's different. People are not face value. Wrong. Yeah, and he is wrong. And I try to back up everything I say. It says, it goes, I say, you just like these belittling idiots, Starmanskye. Yes, idiot, when you can't respectful in what you say, no matter how wrong or valid you are, you have been in the wrong already for your conduct and how you approached. This is how you approached it. You were condescending and rude and try to talk down to somebody, and that's wrong. I'm not giving out the rudeness. I'm just giving out the rudeness. Just out. I have no respect for people who have no respect for me. It's also called an eye for an eye. Vengeance is mine in the Bible. If you want to preach the Bible. Apologize for your smug, belittling, rude. You should apologize if you're wrong. If you're gonna ignore it, it shows how stupid you are. It shows how much you wrapped up in your own head, and you can't open up your mind and understand other people's points of view. Vice versa. Except what I say is I reason it out.